The Indiana Fever's 5 problem players dragging down Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest, Clark walked into a second WNBA season with a target on her back and the entire league watching her every move. After shattering rookie records with 19.4 points per game and leading in assists, the hype for 2025 couldn't have been higher. But instead of dominating, the Fever have been frustratingly inconsistent. And the hard truth? This roster has some serious dead weight. Today, we're counting down the 5 players holding back the Caitlin Clark era, starting at number 5 and working to the biggest liability of them all. Number 5, Sydney Coulson. When Indiana picked up Coulson on February 5th, 2025, the idea was clear: bringing a seasoned vet to steady the locker room and mentor the younger core. On paper, she's a voice of experience. On the floor, she's been invisible. In 28 games, she's averaging just 2.5 points, 0.8 rebounds, and 2 assists in under 11 minutes a night. She's nowhere to be found in crunch time, looks tentative when she does get minutes, and at 35, her speed is all but gone. This team thrives on fast breaks, sharp cuts, and quick decisions. Coulson slows everything to a crawl. She dribbles too long, hesitates on open looks, and delivers passes late enough to kill possession. Sure, she's a leader off-court, but in games, she's eating minutes that younger, hungrier players could be using to actually run with Clark. Number 4, Brianna Turner. Turner's situation stings even more. Not just because she's underperforming, but because the expectations for her were massive. A former first-round pick and once a defensive powerhouse, Turner built her name on hustle, blocks, and sheer energy. This season, that player has vanished. In 14 appearances, she's averaging a miserable 0.4 points, 0.9 rebounds, and 0.2 assists while shooting a pitiful 20% from the field. She's logged just over 60 minutes all year. For a forward, these are historically bad numbers. She should be setting rock-solid screens for Clark, rolling hard to the rim, and owning the boards. Instead, she drifts, avoids contact, and fails to use her size. Her body language screams checked out, and her defensive talk is practically non-existent. On a team where every second of Clark's floor time matters, Turner's minutes have turned into wasted space. Number 3, Kelsey Mitchell. This one's going to stir debate because Mitchell is a proven scorer. Since entering the league in 2018, she's been the Fever's offensive centerpiece. Last year, she averaged over 18 points a game. This year, she's still putting up 16.6. The issue isn't her talent, it's a fit. Caitlin Clark is now the engine of this offense. Every possession should flow through her hands, with a team moving off of playmaking. But Mitchell still plays like she's the unquestioned number 1 guard. Defensively, the drop-off is glaring. She's a step slow on rotations, late on help, and rarely challenges shots without fouling. Switches leave her exposed against quicker forwards, and she's no longer the rim deterrent her reputation suggests. Opponents know it. They attack her side, force Clark to rotate early, and create mismatches that break Indiana's defensive shell. The worst part? This isn't a slump. It's a steady decline. And when your max veteran can't keep up physically or anchor the paint, she becomes a luxury you can't afford. For Caitlin Clark to thrive, the Fever can't just have big names on paper. They need big-time production on the floor. And right now, Howard's giving neither. Natasha Howard used to be a switch-everything, lock-up-anyone defender, quick on rotations, sharp in closeouts, able to guard multiple positions without blinking. But at 32, that burst is gone. Now she's getting beat on the first step. Her footwork is stiff, and her rotations come a beat too late. Guards see her in drop coverage and attack without hesitation. Instead of a defensive anchor, she's become a defensive target. And this isn't just about skill, it's about energy. Watch her body language. Shoulders slump after turnovers. There's little to no reaction when teammates make a big play, and she's slow to get back on defense after missed shots. During timeouts, she's detached, not the engaged veteran voice this young Fever team desperately needs. Compare that to Caitlin Clark, constantly clapping for teammates, calling out mismatches, rallying the group even when banged up. That urgency should be contagious. With Howard, it isn't. The expectation gap is massive. Howard wasn't brought in as a role player. She's one of Indiana's highest-paid veterans, meant to be a core piece alongside Aaliyah Boston. Instead, she's become a roadblock. She clogs spacing, slows the offense, and eats minutes that could be developing players like Michaela Onyenwo and Chloe Bibby, players who cut hard, sprint the floor, and move with purpose. Howard's slow decision-making kills transition chances. Clark will push the ball looking for a trailer or cutter, but Howard is too far behind the play. If she does catch the pass, she resets instead of attacking, letting defenses recover and wiping away easy points. Those half-second delays don't just waste possessions, they waste potential. Right now, Howard is the embodiment of what doesn't work in this system: mismatched pace, shaky confidence, and production that doesn't justify the paycheck. When Clark drives and kicks, she needs a ready shooter. When she calls for a switch, she needs reliable help. When the huddle forms, she needs every voice locked in. Howard hasn't delivered any of that this season. This is a turning point for Indiana. The Fever have the league's most talked-about player, a massive rookie-driven fan base, and a dream pick-and-roll duo in Clark and Boston. But if their highest-paid veteran keeps slowing them down, the question won't be whether Indiana makes the playoffs. It'll be how much of Clark's prime gets wasted before the front office makes a move. Those half-second delays don't just kill possessions, they kill potential. Right now, Natasha Howard is a walking example of what doesn't work in this system. Mismatched pace, shaky confidence, production that doesn't even come close to matching the paycheck. When Clark drives and kicks, she needs a ready shooter. When she calls for a switch, she needs reliable help. When the huddle forms, she needs voices locked in. Howard hasn't given her that once this season. This is a moment for Indiana to decide what they're building. They've got the league's most talked-about player, a rookie-fueled fan base, and a dream pick-and-roll combo in Clark and Boston. But hype doesn't win championships. Building a contender means making cold-blooded decisions, not sentimental ones. If the Fever don't cut the dead weight now, they risk wasting Clark's prime, and maybe losing her altogether. The formula isn't complicated. Surround her with players who match her tempo, protect her body, and elevate her basketball IQ. It's not just about talent. It's about role, energy, and sacrifice. That's why Lexie Hull is untouchable. She doesn't need touches to make an impact, defends like it's personal, and moves seamlessly in the offense. Same with Sophie Cunningham, not the flashiest name, but pure fire, loyalty, and presence. That March 15th ejection? Not a bad look. A warning shot. Come at Caitlin, and you deal with me. Michaela Onyenwo is still raw, but she's making every minute count. Double digits in just 14 minutes a night, crashing boards, running the floor like she's earning every breath. That's the mentality Indiana needs. Even Chloe Bibby, on a short-term deal, has shown she belongs. A versatile stretch four with energy and adaptability, creating the exact floor spacing Clark needs to shred defenses. Maybe not a long-term lock, but she's earned her shot. Then there's Ari McDonald, the coin flip. When Clark was sidelined, she stepped up big. But when the spotlight shifted back, hesitation crept in. Can she embrace a backup role? Or will ego get in the way? Because the difference between her and the placeholders is huge. The underperformers, Howard, Damiris Dantas, Brianna Turner, Sydney Colson, aren't just struggling. They are blocking the Fever's future. Here's the truth. Indiana's future has never looked brighter. They've got cap space. They've got draft picks. And they've got the most marketable player in women's basketball. The right role players are out there, hungry vets, sniper shooters, selfless defenders, waiting for their shot to run with Caitlin Clark. But the Fever have to stop wasting roster spots. No more legacy contracts. No more good vibes over actual production. No more charity cases. This is a championship window. And in pro sports, those windows slam shut fast. Clark doesn't need players he carries. She needs players who carry with her.